And with the intro video done, we switch over to our main dish this week. Can you stream Valorant on the i5-2400 and GT 1030 combo? Hi, my name is Jellyquint, rhymes with eloquent, and this is Low Spec Streaming. Okay, so I'm a big dum-dum. I got into the Valorant beta during the first wave of key drops, and tried immediately streaming it. I failed, not because of the game, but because I was an idiot who didn't know how to set up OBS properly. Worst part is, I published a video the same day telling people how I can't actually stream it, which was, now in retrospect, slightly misleading. So now we're back to, fix that. Since this is the first video of the series, I will go over the structure of the video, so you know what to expect. Part 1 is where I introduce you to the hardware that we'll be using to stream. This will mostly be our i5-2400 GT 1030 combo. However, I may throw in the other two notebooks like once in a while. Part 2 is where we test the game with different OBS presets. And part 3 is, well, the part which tells you which one worked best for my PC. Please keep in mind that even these results are for my PC, they should give you some kind of baseline to know where you're at. So if you have a better PC, you probably can go with better settings. If you have a weaker PC, you should probably go with something, less demanding. Okay, so part 1. So the PC we'll be using in this video is, my main machine. The Lenovo ThinkCentre M91P with the i5-2400 and the NVIDIA GT 1030 graphics card. You'll be seeing this PC mostly in my tests, so we may as well start calling it the Crapinator. Okay, that's about it for part 1. Part 2. Okay, disclaimer. If you're watching this video, chances are that you're a small streamer who hasn't even been affiliated, probably, or you just hit affiliate, but you're thinking about switching to other games or stuff like that. And with that in mind, I want to just stress the following. Like many have done before me, you don't need to stream at more than 720p and 3500 bitrate. Short answer is lots of people won't be able to see your content. And you actually want people to see your content when you're streaming. The reason for this is that you won't have transcoding readily available as a non-affiliated or affiliated streamer. Transcoding is basically that thingy that allows you to switch from 720p to 480p to 160p. That is usually reserved for partners first. Back to Valorant. We have 3 OBS presets that we'll be using to test Valorant. The first one is 720p at 30 FPS using the super fast CPU usage preset. The second one is 720p at 30 FPS using the very fast CPU usage preset. And the third one, and kind of a bonus, is 720p at 60 FPS using the super fast CPU usage preset. We are running the game at my monitor's native resolution, so 1920 by 1080. The in-game settings are all set to, well, their lowest possible values, and most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, we have capped our FPS to 60 FPS. The reason for capping your FPS in-game is that Valorant, as much as any other game, tries to use as much power as possible to deliver a smooth experience. However, we need that extra power. So once again, if you're not running a high refresh rate monitor, cap it to 60. So let's review the footage. Our first test at 720p 30 with the super fast CPU usage preset is the one I use most of the time on my streams when playing a bit heavier games. Needless to say, our dropped frames due to encoding lag were minimal, with an average of around 0.5%. Keep in mind that we do have some occasional artifacting going around when action is ramping up on screen. However, for the majority of Twitch viewers who use their phones to view the stream, that's not an issue. 720p 30, super fast, absolute success. Our second test is still at 720p 30, however this time around we're using the very fast CPU usage preset, which I use every time I'm streaming using a game streaming service like GeForce Now. It provides way better quality at the expense of your CPU encoding the footage slower, thus making it harder to keep up if you're running a demanding game. Once again, this is a non-issue if you have a modern PC, however, we're poor here. Surprisingly enough, the stream ran much better than expected. We lost around 1.2% of frames due to encoding lag, which is more than double what we lost at superfast. However, keep in mind that the image looks better. I'd score this a 7 out of 10. Pretty good. And our last test is at 720p 60 with the super fast CPU usage preset. The reason why you would want 60 FPS is because you love the smoother feel of the stream when you watch it or make a highlight video out of it. However, keep in mind that the majority of viewers don't really care. Needless to say, it performed similarly to the 720p 30 very fast test, with around 1.2% of frames dropped due to encoding lag. It's noticeable, but unless your CPU hits a crazy lag spike, you'll be able to successfully stream at 720p 60. Yay, part 3! Okay, those were the 3 main options that run decently on my PC. Personally, I use the first option, 720p 30 super fast, because I have a lot of overlays. And they do tend to, spike my CPU sometimes. However, that's also the most reliable option for you. However, if you're experiencing quite a number of dropped frames, it's time to go further. You can either drop the resolution of the game to 720p as well, maybe stream at a lower resolution like 720 480 or 480p, or use ultra fast as your CPU usage preset, which in my opinion is your last resort. Ultra fast just makes the stream look nasty. However, it does allow you to stream. If, however, you have better hardware, then start with the CPU usage preset. If you're still not hitting any bottlenecks, increase your frame rate to 60 FPS. And as said earlier, 1080p streaming is mostly recommended if you're a partner streamer. Okay, that's about it regarding Valorant. If you want me to test any other games on this PC, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions and really want to ask me live without me waiting to answer your question down there in the comments below, join me on twitch.tv/jellyquintv. And as always, see you in the next one. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen,